The primary motivation behind drug trafficking is the relentless pursuit of profit, which fuels a cycle of illicit activities. Criminals exploit legitimate financial systems to launder and conceal their illegally obtained funds, a practice that has become increasingly sophisticated over time. The food and beverage industry, encompassing bars, restaurants, and nightclubs, serves as a prime target for these activities due to its significant cash flow, which facilitates both money laundering and drug trafficking operations. Dario Oleaga exemplifies the strategies used by those involved in these illicit activities. In New York, he has created businesses that utilize straw owners in the food and beverage sector, catering to criminals looking for ways to launder money from drug sales. Oleaga's first venture in New York City was a nightclub called Umbrella, established in October 2002 in Inwood, Manhattan. This endeavor was supported by advice from Julio Valdez, a public relations representative he met through a mutual acquaintance involved in drug dealing in Washington Heights. The lessons learned from Umbrella served as a masterclass for Oleaga in navigating the food and beverage industry. The club's success attracted several figures from the Dominican American underworld, who sought his help in establishing legitimate businesses as fronts for laundering money from illegal activities. On social media, Oleaga presents himself as a businessman and entrepreneur, claiming that his entrepreneurial talent has allowed him to build a series of businesses in the food and beverage sector. However, those familiar with his operations know that these ventures primarily serve as fronts for money laundering and other illicit activities. One particularly notable case involves two projects Oleaga launched with convicted criminal Hector Silvestre, through which they laundered around $2.5 million between 2012 and 2015. Additionally, in 2015, Oleaga laundered nearly $500,000 as confessed by a former associate convicted of identity theft and credit card fraud. Interviews with convicted criminals and court documents indicate that Oleaga's involvement in drug trafficking and money laundering isn't new. It dates back to when he arrived in the United States in 1994. For example, in late 2001, a group of Dominican drug traffickers was arrested at Las Americas International Airport in Santo Domingo while attempting to smuggle 13.5 kilos of liquid cocaine concealed in 12 bottles of a prestigious Dominican rum bound for New York City. Interrogation documents revealed that the drugs were intended for Dario Oleaga. As Oleaga expanded his operations, he strengthened his network by forming alliances with well-connected Dominican individuals, such as union leader Henry Garrido, the executive director of District Council 37, New York City's largest public employee union, who has become one of his top promoters and associates. He also aligned himself with politicians aspiring to elected positions or seeking re-election, like Idanis Rodriguez, the current Transportation Commissioner of New York, and Adriano Espaillat, a U.S. representative in Washington, D.C. The latter has maintained notably symbiotic relationships with a self-proclaimed entrepreneur whom Mr. Oleaga claims is his highest-ranking loyal protector. Other politicians enticed by Oleaga's campaign donations include New York Mayor Eric Adams, with whom he traveled to the Dominican Republic shortly after Adams's election in November 2021, and even the current governor of New York State, Kathy Hochul. In return for his donations to Mayor Adams' political campaign, Oleaga secured a lucrative contract to supply food to shelters for immigrants arriving en masse in New York City. Today, Dario Oleaga's activities continue, according to those close to him. At least as of May 2025, he was involved in two businesses in Inwood, Manhattan, one already up and running, and another set up to open soon, a large liquor store, both located on West 202nd Street. Both businesses operate under front names to disguise their true nature. For many observers, trying to change an individual's behavior with such a deeply entrenched history is like asking a leopard to change its spots.